aging isn't a natural process, it's a disease. Why does this matter for us in Malaysia? We are officially an aging society. We are the first generation of humans who might view getting old not as a sentence but as a choice.
The guide to all the facts, no cap, just science, relax.
Welcome back to Sains Orang Biasa, where we cut through the noise and tell you the facts. I'm your host Matthew, and today we're talking about the biological reset, the age reversal. Dr. David Sinclair's information theory of aging. So what if I told you that the most common cause of death in the world isn't cancer or heart disease or even car accidents? It's something much more fundamental. It's aging. Now, traditionally, we've been taught that aging is inevitable slide into decay. We get grey hair, our bones get brittle, our minds get foggy, and it's just, the way life goes. But Dr. David Sinclair, a geneticist at Harvard Medical School, has spent the last 30 years arguing that we've been looking at it all wrong. In his view, aging isn't a natural process, it's a disease. And more importantly, it's a disease that we are starting to learn how to treat. Today, we are going to break down the science behind his information theory of aging, the radical experiments where he's literally reversed blindness in mice, and what this means for us, specifically looking at how this research might impact our healthcare landscape right here in Malaysia, where we are seeing an increasingly aging population. To understand Sinclair's work, you have to understand his information theory of aging. Think of your body like a computer. You have two types of data. First, you have your genome. This is the digital code, your DNA. It's the fixed instruction manual. Surprisingly, even when you're 90 years old, that manual is still mostly readable. The code of your youth is still in there. The problem is the epigenome. This is the analog information. It's the reader that decides which genes are turned on and which are turned off. It's what tells a cell you are a liver cell and don't act like a brain cell. Sinclair uses the analogy of a CD. Your DNA is the music on the disc. It's permanent, but as we live, the disc gets scratched. And these scratches are epigenetic noise. Things like pollution, bad diet, lack of sleep, or just time. Eventually, the CD player can't read the music correctly. The cell loses its identity. It starts acting old because it's confused. Aging, therefore, is simply a loss of information. And if we can polish those scratches off the CD, we can theoretically get the cell to play the music of our youth again. So this sounds great in theory, but does it work in practice? In 2020, Sinclair's lab published a landmark study in Nature that shook the scientific world. They took old mice that had lost their vision due to the aged optic nerves, and they used a gene therapy cocktail called OSK, which stands for 3 Yamanaka factors, OCT4, SOX2, and KLF4. These are genes that can reset a cell's age. Now, usually if you use these factors, you turn a cell back into a stem cell, a blank slate. You don't want that, guys. You want a young eye cell, not a mass of stem cells that could become a tumor. So Sinclair's team found a way to trigger a partial reset. They injected these factors into the eyes of the mice. A few weeks later, the optic nerves actually regrew. The mice regained their sight. It wasn't just that the aging stopped, it went in reverse. So they have effectively polished the scratches of the CD for those specific cells. So, how does the body polish these scratches naturally? It comes down to a family of proteins called sirtuins. We have 7 of them, and they act like cells' internal repair crew. Sirtuins do 2 things. They manage your metabolism and they fix your DNA. But they have a limitation. They require a fuel called NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Here's the catch. As we age, our NAD levels plummet. By the time you're 50, you have about half the NAD you had at 20. Without the fuel, the sirtuin repair crew goes on strike. They can't do their work. They stop fixing the scratches on the CD and the cells start to fail. That is why there is so much hype around NAD boosters like NMN or NR. The idea is simple. If we can give the repair crew their fuel back, they can get back to work maintaining the epigenome, slowing down the clock, and maybe even turning it back a few notches. So now let's bring it to home. Why does this matter for us in Malaysia? We are officially an aging society. Our Department of Statistics notes that by 2030, 15% of our population will be over 60 years old. This creates a massive strain on our healthcare system dealing with what we call age-related non-communicable diseases like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular issues. If Sinclair's research holds true, the future of medicine in Malaysia could shift from geriatric care, which is managing the decline, to longevity medicine. Instead of just treating the diabetes that comes with age, we might treat the aging that causes the diabetes. So currently, human trials for Sinclair's OSK therapy are beginning for specific conditions like glaucoma. While we aren't at the point of a fountain of youth pill at the local pharmacy yet, the shift in how we view health is already here. So where does that leave us? Dr. Sinclair is often asked what people can do now while we wait for these gene therapies to become available. And his answer is usually pointing to hormesis. This is a concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. By putting our body under mild stress, things like intermittent fasting, high-intensity exercise, or even exposure to cold, we trick our sirtuins into panic mode. They wake up, they look for NAD, and they start repairing the epigenome. So we are living through a biological revolution. We are the first generation of humans who might view getting old not as a sentence but as a choice. As Dr. Sinclair says, there is no biological law that says that we must age. We are just beginning to learn how to rewrite the code. So thank you for watching. I'm Matthew and this has been Sains Orang Biasa. Stay healthy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.
Ini dia podcast Sains Orang Biasa. Sains Orang Biasa.